Oh, that took a while.
A few bumps in the road, perhaps.
How are you doing tonight now?
I'm doing great. It's a little hot.
Yeah, oh my god.
The
There's this nice fan blowing.
Yeah, right. It's my savior. My beads of sweat were really...
Oh, I saw that. Oh my god. Look, I'm trying to like get the computer all fixed up. And you're just sitting there like, hello, hello, hello. And just we're both just dripping sweat. Oh, I don't know how that's going to look.
It's all right. It'll be all right.
What? Oh. I am Caleb.
And I am Austin.
And welcome to Balls and Blasters. This is a podcast about me and you. We just are going to talk. I'm the blaster side, so my nerd stuff on the back.
And I'm talking about balls and sports. I don't have any decorations currently, but I do have things I could bring over.
Yes, this is just like the quick setup that we could get because I was gone this weekend. So I wanted to get a futon, but but basically in this podcast, I'm going to be teaching Austin about just nerd stuff like the new Superman movie that just came out.
Word around is it was really good.
We'll get to that.
And then my whole purpose is to talk about really any sports, kind of explain to Caleb why things are happening, and maybe have a little narrative twist to it just for fun. But I probably more of like a conversational tone. You know what I'm saying?
That's all. I want I think we both want this podcast to be like more just like just us hanging out and hopefully teaching each other, but also teaching whoever's listening like about stuff too. I mean,
Right.
if you know about the sports side, maybe you'll learn something on my side or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's basically our normal conversations, just in podcast form.
oh yeah, no, like how long have we wanted to do this?
I mean, probably a long time. The Balls and Blasters idea was a recent thing.
Yeah, but like podcasts. Like, we want to do a podcast in general, but like I feel like I had this idea like a while ago, but it didn't like come to like whole fruition until like 2 weeks ago.
Right, exactly. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, over some adult beverages to really get the juices flowing.
Oh yeah.
It kind of reminds me, like, remember in high school? We went to high school together.
Yes,
We've known
we've known each other since 5th grade.
Correct.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
With baseball, it reminds me in high school, we would just go on late night drives
Oh.
because you had a car and I did not.
Yeah.
And we would just talk about random things. And I feel like that just kind of spiraled into this.
And now hopefully like I keep saying hopefully like we just get to talk to each other and then talk to whoever's listening, you guys,
Yeah.
at the same time.
A nice excuse to hang out.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna aim for every Sunday night / Monday morning. It might change here and there because I know I got a couple trips planned and all that. But
Right.
I mean, if I could try. We could do one on Zoom too. But yeah, we're gonna roughly expect it every like Monday to Tuesday, I'd say.
That's probably fair. I have a pretty set schedule outside of this, so I should be able to do that.
And I have a slightly less set schedule, so but.
And I think, what are we shooting for? This, obviously, our first go about it here is going to maybe take some time.
About an hour.
But
Oh, and we wanted to start 30 minutes earlier, but
it only took us like 45 minutes to figure out the microphones.
yeah.
But
Oh God, I'm still sweating from that. Oh, thank God the fan's back. But should we get started?
yeah, so I think we should start with the layout of the podcast.
Yeah. That's a
So
good idea.
the goal is each week Caleb will come to the table with 3 nerdy topics, and I will come to the table with 3 sporty topics, and then we'll probably just bounce back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna hopefully aim for 10 minutes each, but at the same time, it's like if one takes up the whole almost the whole show, like that means we're having a good conversation about it. So I'm not gonna be too
Right.
picky about it. And only one of my topics is like a huge topic. So
Right. That is the thing about this time of year is there's not there's sports news, but not all of it's like uber interesting, because I know baseball's for some, but not all.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I played it, but like besides like the Twins, I can't really keep up with it.
Right.
And that's what the whole point of this.
I'm a 162 guy. I pay more attention to baseball than probably any other sport that isn't football, I guess.
I have no idea what that means. 162.
There's 162 games in a regular season.
Okay.
Yeah, I watch a lot of baseball.
Yeah. That was perfect.
So, how did we want to get started?
Well, I'm seeing that I have more topics than you as of right now. So
That is correct.
why don't you know what? Why don't we do a rock, paper, scissors?
Okay, are we going on shoot?
Yeah, on shoot.
Okay.
All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, well, looks like you're up first.
Oh boy. All right. So, I suppose we can start with Major League Baseball. It is the middle of the season. Today is actually the end of the unofficial first half of the season.
Okay.
The Home Run Derby is tomorrow night,
I remember telling you
and
about that.
the All-Star Game is on Tuesday. So, I say unofficial first half ending because baseball, for some reason, doesn't have the halfway point. It's probably, I think they played about 90 games at this point. But I have some notes here.
Okay.
So I figured, because for as much drama as there can be around an all-star game, there is a little bit some. But I guess I can start by explaining what in the world it is.
Yeah.
Just
I was
briefly.
gonna say, like, is it kind of like an NBA? I know a little more about the NBA All-Star Game.
Right.
Kind of like that, almost.
It's a little bit like that. In the NBA, they do East versus West. They have Eastern Conference, Western Conference. In baseball, they have conferences. They have the American League and the National League. They don't split it up into East-West.
Oh, so it's still like America, like as a whole, though, right?
Right. Yeah, they don't. It's not like USA versus Canada or USA versus the world kind of thing, which I think the NBA experiments with. But which would be really cool if baseball did something like that, because it is a pretty, well, relatively worldwide sport.
Kind of like what the World Series is, though.
Uh,
Or is that a little different too?
the World Series it's an interesting name because it is just Major League Baseball. But I think the idea is that
So it's not like international at all.
no. So
Okay. Well, there you go. There's something new.
there's something new. No, it's it's the World Series is the NBA Finals. It's the Super Bowl over, it's a 7-game series. And so it pits one American League team against one National League team. And so, and this is one of my notes here, but since we're on it, baseball used to have, like, by far and away the best all-star game of the 4 major sports in North America, because the winner of the all-star game, that league got to host the World Series. So it's a 7-game series, so they would get more home games. They would get 4 home games as opposed to 3.
So it's kind of like more like a tournament, almost.
Like, just the playoffs in general.
Like, no, like the All-Star Game.
No, it is literally just one game.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just one game, and so it pretty much a celebration of the first half of the season, the people that are having a good season up to this point.
Okay. So how do you get into the All-Star Game?
So about 2-ish weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, they open up voting, and there's 2 phases of voting. Fans get to vote. I think for phase 1, you can vote up to 5 times a day. And basically, fans just vote for their favorite players. And each league gets 8 position players and 1 designated hitter. And whoever gets the most votes, that guy starts in the All-Star game.
So it's kind of like pick your favorite player, almost.
Pretty much, which is a point of contention, which is one of the narratives I wanted to harp on, because in like all All-Star games, like NBA, NHL, NFL, like their fan voting is a thing in all of them, and it's cool because the fans get to have their voice be heard. but it can lead to situations where it's just the most popular player starting, maybe not necessarily the best player starting.
So it's almost like you gotta like you have some showmanship to get in the All-Star game.
A little bit, and MLB fans are usually pretty good about not giving it to undeserving players. But for instance, the starting center fielder for the American League, Julio Rodriguez, he's a really good baseball player, but there's probably 2 or 3 guys more deserving than him.
Is that a hot take?
No. So at the risk of getting too statistically nerdy in baseball, the night we came up with the balls and blasters idea, I was talking to you about OPS. Do you remember that conversation?
You're gonna need to retell that to me. Oh my god.
So OPS, so baseball and batting average, that's like the main stat, right? And the more you hit the ball, the higher your batting average goes up. That's a good thing. That's kind of like an old school way of looking at how good a player is, whereas the new batting average is called OPS, and OPS stands for on base plus slugging. Okay. So it's just a measure of how often a guy gets on base, and when he is getting on base, is he doing damage? Is he scoring runs? Is he getting more than one base at a time?
So like if you essentially like if you score home runs, your OPS goes higher.
Correct.
But if you get on one base, it probably like
it'll still raise it, but not quite to the same extent as a home run would. Yes. Okay. So Julio Rodriguez. So the best way to describe an elite baseball player, or at least a great one, is a 300, 400, 500 slash line. So the slash line is what makes up OPS. It's batting average, on base, slugging. So it's literally like if you were to see it on a piece of paper or sheet, it would be batting average slash on base percentage slash slugging percentage. That's why it's called a slash line. And so the great players will bat around 300, have an on base percentage 40 of 400, and a slugging percentage of 500. So if you have a 300 batting average, that means you get a hit 3 out of 10 times. If you have a 400 on base percentage, 0.4, you get on base 40% of the time. And Julio Rodriguez he's a Seattle Mariner. He's a really fun baseball player, but he doesn't hit, those numbers for him are statistically lower than maybe some more deserving candidates.
I have a question though. Uh-huh. So if you get hit by a pitch or you get walked, like does that also go towards your OPS?
Yes.
Okay, so like if you could just be like a target and like have a really high OPS just because you get hit a lot.
Pretty much. There are some players, and generally the players that stand super close to home plate when they're batting are the ones that get hit more. And some pitchers like that, some pitchers don't. But so yeah. Good or bad fan voting, I think it's ultimately good because it keeps fans engaged. But it can, perhaps leave more deserving players left out.
That's kind of like you said, it's kind of like a popularity contest, and I mean, like in like shows and stuff like that, like a lot of times we let fans vote, like it kind of can ruin like the narrative of what you're trying to like give out. So I don't think there's a narrative with baseball, but it's also like it can kind of ruin a game, I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, it's a lot of just fans are passionate, they're fanatical, and they want their guys there, which is great. And then the other aspect of the All-Star game I want to talk about, it's a very big deal to like be the pitcher that starts the All-Star game. You're like the de facto best pitcher in the league at this point in the season. And so there's one guy, he's a Detroit Tiger. His name is Tarik Skubal. He was the best pitcher last year, won the award for being the best pitcher last year, the Cy Young. And he's having an even better season, arguably, this year. And so, I came out today. He is starting the game, which is good. But there is a point of contention because the All-Star game this year is in Atlanta. And the other option is a New York Yankee named Max Fried. And he spent the first I don't know, around 8-ish years with the Atlanta Braves. So, and he's having a really good year. And his manager for the Yankees, Aaron Boone, is managing the American League All-Star team. And so there was talk of Max Fried should start the game because the manager wants to take care of him. He wants to put his guy out there, and it's like a homecoming of sorts, which Detroit Tigers fans were not happy with that idea.
It's like, I guess that's like he can't really like change the fan vote, like kind of veto it, can he?
Right. And so with pitchers and like all the backups that get elected to the game, they're voted on by the players themselves. And sometimes the commissioner can like pick a guy to put in the game. If like Clayton Kershaw is a Los Angeles Dodger and he's an all-star this year because this is probably his last season and he's going to be a Hall of Famer. So it's the commissioner is like, I want to celebrate him and put him in the game. But otherwise, everybody else is voted on by their peers, which is cool because that means like who knows best, the players know best.
So sorry if I am getting this wrong here, but it's the top 3 people who get voted, right?
So
like if you said a center fielder, it's like it's like the public votes and then like the top 3 get in.
So the public votes and whoever there's like phase 1, and then I believe it's the top 3 or 5 vote getters at each position move on to phase 2.
Okay.
And then whoever wins the voting gets to start in the game.
Gets to start, but they get to still be a part of the game as well.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And so in an all-star game, it's baseball's a 9-inning game. So if you're a pitcher, you might only pitch 1 inning and then you're done. If you're a player, maybe you get 2 innings, a position player. And that's just so that they can filter through everybody. And
so it's probably more like is it more of a fun game or is it?
For sure.
Yes, you don't want anybody like getting hurt.
It's an exhibition and they have players mic'd up and they'll have interviews in the middle of the game. So
like more of like a celebration of baseball almost?
Pretty much, yes. Okay. Oh, I thought I had to burp there. That would have been bad.
Away from the mic.
Yes.
Do that.
And then we'll try not to spend too much more time on this first baseball topic, but the next part of the All-Star event, I suppose, is the Home Run Derby. Like the NBA has like their 3-point contest and their dunk contest, or the NFL does their skills competitions, and so does the NHL. The MLB has the Home Run Derby, which is just 8 guys get picked and they go hit baseballs as far as they can.
Does the public vote on this one?
No. So the only way to participate in the Home Run Derby is Major League Baseball asks you. You essentially get elected to the All-Star game, and they're like, hey, would you like to come participate in the Home Run Derby? And the guys with the most home runs are the guys that they ask first.
Okay, so it's kind of like, okay, from when I played 2K, like on my career, is it kind of like if you shot a lot, because I was playing a 3-point shooter,
right?
Kind of like if you shot a lot of threes, you were invited to the 3-point like contest almost?
Pretty much, yeah. If you shoot a lot of threes and you make a high clip, you're making a lot of your threes. It's the same thing with home runs. Like the home run leader right now, Cal Raleigh, he's a catcher for the Seattle Mariners. He is going to be in the Home Run Derby, which is cool because he's a switch hitting catcher, which is pretty rare. So he can hit from both sides of the plate.
I was going to ask what switch hitting was.
Yes.
I thought I had an idea what it was. Would you also call like a person who can do both pitching a switch pitcher?
Pretty much. And there's one famous one, Pat Venditti, I believe is how you say his name. That's even more rare. There's, there might be like one switch hitter on a baseball team, sometimes more. Switch hitting is funny because you usually have one side of the plate where you're just stronger, and you have the other side of the plate where maybe you're more contact based instead of actually hitting home runs and doing damage and whatnot. But yeah, so in the home run derby, it's seeded 1 through 8, so it's a tournament.
Okay.
And the guy with the most home runs is the 1 seed. He goes up against the 8 seed, and you essentially just duke it out. I think it's like 3-minute rounds. They change the rules every year with how long each round is, but it's always a good time, and the fans really, really like it because it's just cool to see all the really good baseball players hit a baseball as far as they can.
I mean, yeah, like, so do like they stand like kind of like the stands and just start catching balls and stuff?
Pretty much. And some years are weird because maybe there'll be like 7 right-handed hitters and 1 left-handed hitter, which sucks for people on one half of the stadium because they're probably not going to get to catch many home run balls. But this year, I think there's a decent mix between lefties and righties, and they try to do that on purpose. One big thing that they always try to do for the home run derby is they try to have one like guy from the host team participate because so it's in Atlanta. It's going to be mostly Braves fans that are there, but there's going to be a lot of other baseball fans too, of course. So they try to get a star player from the team to kind of, just spice it up, give like a fan favorite to root for.
Yeah, because like if you're gonna go, it's like, oh, but like there's nobody on my team. It's kind of like, like okay, I'll go.
And
I guess.
So Atlanta, or Ronald Acuna Jr., he's a star outfielder for Atlanta. He came back from an injury. He tore his ACL last year, and he came back just a couple months ago, and he was going to be the representative, but I think he backed out due to like back tightness, so now they chose their first baseman instead, who's Matt Olson. He's also a really good baseball player, but that's just kind of like the it's like, okay, Acuna can't do it, but we need someone from the Braves. I don't think it's like a set like they need to do this, but
it's just nice to have,
right?
Yeah,
makes it all fun and whatnot. I did have some other notes here, but I feel like I've been talking for quite a long time. So if you have any other questions, go ahead. Otherwise,
can I just say it's crazy how you know all these names? But I'm like thinking about like Skyrim and stuff like that, and I know like all the NPCs' names. So I'm like,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm a Boston Red Sox fan, as the people can tell. And so I watch every single Red Sox game, but I also, I'm following a bunch of like baseball media. And so like I'm seeing these players' names all day, every day. So you just pick it up eventually,
Yes, yeah. Well, if you want to do a cool transition, speaking of baseball,
yeah,
Superman fights in a baseball field in this new movie, and that's not a spoiler because it's in the trailer.
What city does this partake in?
Metropolis.
Of course.
So, yes. So the Superman movie just came out,
mm-hmm.
and I have the note here on it. One second. Can you guess what the opening box office weekend for Superman was?
Opening box office. Oh gosh, I don't even know what like a good number would be.
So let me give you some examples. Lilo and Stitch scored, I think, for this is just for America, USA. I think it was 140 million.
Okay.
And then Minecraft was 160 million.
And these are good numbers.
These are good numbers.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you though, it didn't make as much as those two.
Okay, I'm gonna guess 105 million.
So, I mean, that's close. It's $122 million.
Okay.
It's the third highest box office weekend this year, which, I mean, it's Superman. You'd expect like a big household name like that. Like my grandma knows Superman. So.
The people were excited.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And globally it scored 217 million, which is really good. That, I think that's proven that a movie's going to hit $1 billion. Is like if it scores over like 100 million. And then like 150 million worldwide.
Gotcha.
But yeah, oh my god. There's gonna be no spoiler talk here, but the movie was incredible.
So because there's multiple Superman movies.
Yes.
Is it kind of like the Batman movies where like does it continue a storyline from a previous movie, or is it kind of just like retelling the Superman story?
So I am so glad you asked this, because you know that like the movies before the Batman were like there was Man of Steel, which was a Superman movie, and there was Batman v Superman,
right?
And like Aquaman and all that.
Those
were all like in what's called the Snyderverse.
Okay.
Which is like, it was all like, you know how there's what's his name, Josh Whedon, I think, for Marvel, or no, Kevin Feige for Marvel. He was kind of that for DC, but he took a leave of absence, and there's a bunch of movies came out. They didn't do very well. Like I think it started like doing a huge downtrend, and then DC, Warner Brothers, hired James Gunn, who directed the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, which we love.
Right.
And he's like, okay, I'm going to be like the overall like puppet master for DC, and we're going to start completely over. So it's unclear right now which movies are going to be in the DC universe and what aren't, but this movie is supposed to like kind of start the new DC extended universe.
Gotcha.
Which, and what a way to start it off.
Yeah.
Like, I just cannot explain to you. Like, there's a huge thing right now with like the critics and audience, and people absolutely love this movie. Like, everything I've seen from just like regular people absolutely adore this movie, but critics hate it for some reason.
I feel like it's with sports and whatnot, it feels like there's always just like I don't know, like the media hates the sport, but the fans love it. You know, it's like, or maybe that's on purpose in a sporting sense, but I guess for a movie sense, it feels weird to like, and you know, a movie critic in my mind, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is just a professional fan.
I would say it's more than that, because like I don't know how much you'd say sports is an art, but like movies are like classified like in the arts, like and so like you have like these like since movies were around, like there are people like criticizing movies, and like now there's like thousands of people or millions of people that are movie reviewers. Oh, excuse me. But like I just like can't agree, not agree. Like I can't understand like how critics have a job almost, because like most people like they don't care if like a movie is good or not. They're gonna go see it.
Right. I mean, and not that I'm going to the movie theater every week, but you know, you see people talk about like Rotten Tomatoes all the time, and I just like, I don't care. Like if I see the preview and it looks halfway interesting.
Exactly. It's like if you look at Superman and like you like, I think I'm gonna like that. You're gonna see like 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, I think it's higher than that. But like you're gonna see that and you're like, I still want to go see the Superman movie though.
Right.
Like it's something I am very interested in and I want to go see it. So, but yeah, like everything online I've been seeing is like it does everything like justice. Like it, and all like you can tell every actor is giving their all. Like literally one of my favorite characters was Lois Lane, because she was like so like just a contrast to like Superman, but like also like still a love interest. It was just insane, like how like Guy Gardner, he's a Green Lantern. I don't know if you know who Green Lanterns are.
I kind of.
They're like they got like rings with like light powers or whatever, and they can like make light constructs.
Okay.
But, like he's supposed to be like kind of like a jerk. Like he's a good guy, but he's like a jerk.
There was a Green Lantern movie, wasn't there?
Yeah, with Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was not very good.
I saw parts of it. I don't think I ever saw the full thing, but
yeah, so like what a way to start the DCU, because like we watched all the Marvel movies together. That's something you actually do like from the nerd side,
right?
But it's like it kind of reminds me of like Iron Man almost.
Okay, like the first, like this is gonna be something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but what's cool is that it's like it starts like Iron Man, but it starts like 3 years into Superman's journey.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's all these characters. It feels like an already fleshed out like universe that's expanding like at this point.
Do you think that's because people are just really familiar with Superman, so you really don't have to spend a whole lot of time building up?
100%, because it's like the Spider-Man thing of like we didn't see his like for Tom Holland's we didn't see the like origin story again,
right?
Because it's been like shoved down our throats so much.
Right.
It's like people like know who it is, and if you do a decent job of like explaining like this is like the start of the movie, it does like a few sentences telling you about like, oh, like, hey, he's been Superman for 3 years,
right? And
like so this is like him. He's not necessarily new, but he hasn't been doing it for like an insane amount of time either, which is good
for this Superman movie. And because I don't think I saw Man of Steel, but and to use the Batman reference again, like each Batman movie has like one villain he's tangoing with. Is it kind of the same deal with the Superman movie, or does it kind of like introduce multiple?
I mean, there's definitely like one villain. It's Lex Luthor.
Okay.
It's kind of like a billionaire evil guy.
And he's, not to cut you off, he's like Superman's arch nemesis.
He's
correct?
like Batman's Joker.
Okay.
Essentially. So yeah, and he's got like a couple of lackeys that are like they're like other villains too. Like there's like another like I shouldn't say the spoilers, but there's others.
Gotcha. I think the most in-depth experience I have with most DC characters are the Batman Lego video games.
Great, by the way.
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. And you said you are a fan of the movie, correct?
Oh my god. I was trying to debate whether I like this or like the Batman with Robert Pattinson more.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like this more just because like it felt, it's a 2-hour movie. It felt like so short. Like I was like, I want to see more.
Right.
And like there's no more. But like it's like I sprinted. Oh, I had to go to the bathroom so bad. I sprinted. I came back probably in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't want to miss like a beat, because it was just constantly like just giving you like the great like just film to
right.
look at, and like you didn't want to like look away.
So you were saying like this Superman is supposed to hopefully be kind of like a rejuvenation or restart of like the DC universe.
It's a little weird because I don't think James Gunn has like outright said it. I think he's basically said we're gonna restart the DCEU, but he didn't say that everything from the past is just gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they are gonna lean more towards it just being a complete restart. And by the way, it is. I think what he said is that Robert Pattinson's Batman is not part of this.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So, because there's the Batman with Robert Pattinson. There's a second one coming out soon-ish, right?
Yeah, it's called Batman: The Brave and the Bold.
Okay, and so it's just kind of like its own, like, kind of how like Venom for Marvel, like he's not really in, like he is in the universe, but he's not a part of like the Avengers stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the Sony verse almost. It's kind of like that. But then there's also like, I'm not gonna say a quote, but he said like, he's probably not gonna be part of the universe, but there is a chance he will be.
Right.
But I think they're gonna lean towards no, which kind of sucks because I really liked that movie, and I think it'd be cool to have like Robert Pattinson, like his. I think the Batman is year 2 of Batman, so he's still kind of learning stuff. I think it'd be kind of cool because Superman's in year 3, but the Batman was like a few years ago, so it'd be kind of cool to have those two in the same universe, because I think they would really play off each other. But
do you think it's because, like, I know superhero fans get really into it. Do you think it's because like they just don't want to have like a winner or a loser between Batman and Superman?
See, I'm gonna say this: Zack Snyder has done terrible things for Superman and Batman, because at the end of the day, they're best friends. I will say that they are best friends. In like all other media, they would not fight each other. They wouldn't. So Batman v Superman did a lot of damage because they're both like they're both on the same side of justice.
Did they ever? Is there a fight between the two in the comics?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. But like it's like 99% of the time they're gonna be like working on the same side. Like they're both part of the Justice League.
Right.
And stuff. So it's like, yeah, I think initially like there are some fights that you could have them fight, but like they're like also best friends. So
another question I had for you, is the goal to like intertwine storylines and characters, or is it more just like, here's this really hype movie and then we'll make another really hype movie, but it doesn't really connect?
So this is gonna be kind of minor spoilers, but you'll see it if you look up anything, because I think they confirmed it before the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna be really minor spoilers for like maybe a minute. Like Supergirl, there's a movie Supergirl coming out next year, and like she has a little cameo in this movie.
Okay.
So they're kind of like connecting everything, which is nice.
Right.
I'm gonna guess in like the new Batman movie that's coming out too, there's gonna be like a hint to Superman or something like that. But that Batman movie too is gonna have Damian Wayne as the Robin. That's like Batman's actual son.
Okay.
Not actual son, his biological son.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's gonna be like a kind of father-son movie, I think.
Gotcha. I don't know the answer to this. Do we know who the villain is in?
I don't think so, actually.
Because the first one was the Riddler.
For the Batman. Yeah. Because I don't know, they might do a different a different person play Batman too.
So like.
Oh, okay. So Robert Pattinson's. Sorry. So this Batman, the Brave and the Bold, would be in the Superman universe.
Okay.
So yeah, they're making the Batman 2.
Okay.
They're also making a separate Batman, the Brave and the Bold. But the question is, like, is Robert Pattinson gonna be Batman, the Brave and the Bold? Because I think he's still a little too young to have like a teenage kid.
Right.
So that'd be kind of hard to implement. But also you could like age. Robert Pattinson's probably old enough now. He's probably he's like in his 40s, right? I think so.
Sounds sure.
I've seen Twilight. I don't know, but yeah, I think he's in his 40s. So like, it could technically be possible, but that means he'd have his kid when he's like in his 20s.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think if they do go that route of like having like a different Batman, I think it would be cool to get like an older guy who like looks like he would have an actual kid.
Is there any candidates or anybody you want to see specifically?
I don't really know, because I don't really do fan casting too often. Like, I think Robert Pattinson did a fantastic job, and like Christian Bale, like, amazing job too. But like, I wouldn't see, because you need to get like a guy who's like kind of like buff, but also like looks like kind of a douche,
right?
Like, but like is actually a good guy. So I don't know how you like fit that. I don't know like an actor I would choose for that.
Yeah. When I go into movies, I try and I don't go to movies very often, but I always I see movies more for what they're about, not so much the actors and actresses in there. Yeah. And so like whoever is cast is just like, okay, I'm, start at zero and hopefully I really like your work. I try not to let other work that they've done in the past, ruin my opinion before I even see the movie.
I will say too, this movie has like a lot of like lesser known actors and like not like A-listers. Like I don't even think Nathan Fillion's an A-lister, but like he's probably like to my knowledge, like the most like famous like actor in the movie. Superman's played by David Cornsweet though.
I don't think I've ever heard that name.
He was in Twisters as the bad guy.
Okay. Interesting.
You never saw Twisters either, have you?
No.
It was pretty good. Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
Ooh, Glenn Powell. He's still young, but he could be a good Batman.
Yeah.
I like him. But, yeah. So, like, the movie was fantastic. I highly recommend you see it, and you out there also see it. I think you'd really like it. It's definitely more of a lighthearted movie than like the Batman is and stuff like that. But it's I couldn't stop watching.
I might have to check it out, or maybe I'll wait for it to stream somewhere and I'll just do it that way.
I was gonna do that with like Captain America 4, and then I just never did.
Yeah,
so I still have to watch that.
I haven't really ever since the last Guardians of the Galaxy. I haven't paid too much attention.
I saw Thunderbolts because I saw with my dad and sister. They wanted to go, and I was like, yeah, whatever. My dad's gonna pay for it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no, that was good. That actually that bombed.
I had seen a lot of mixed opinions on it.
I thought the movie was amazing. I thought that was like the rhetoric online, but it like lost like I think it was $100 million.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. Is there any transition you can do between losing $100 million and your next topic?
Well, actually, maybe not losing a whole bunch of money, but there are certainly some young athletes out there that are starting to make a whole lot of money. For your sports people watching, this is not a strictly NIL conversation, but my next topic here on this fancy dancy whiteboard is the CHL to the NCAA. What does that mean? I'm sure you're asking.
NCAA is National College.
It's college.
Okay, yeah. I don't know the two A's.
National Collegiate
Athletics Association?
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
Okay.
So NCAA is obviously, it's, in the USA, it's all the college athletes and sports and whatnot. And maybe on a different podcast at a different time, I can talk about how the NCAA is the least competent organization in the history of athletics. So this is a college hockey topic, which I know is just riveting for most people. But so the NCAA, it's for a long, long time, and this ended like just a handful of years ago, but thought anybody that plays in our sports, they're amateurs, they're not professionals, they cannot make any money off their name, you're not paying them.
Just did air quotes there.
And that was like the whole purpose of it. Like, you play for your school because you're passionate about your school. It's about the colors and the name on the front. The name on the back doesn't matter. And there is still a big part of that still. But now athletes are starting to get paid, and which is a good thing, because you have star college football players that are like maybe the most popular person in their states, depending on what state they're in, and they can't make any money off of it, and there's like so many settlements and lawsuits with the NCAA. Like I said, it could literally be its own podcast topic. But the reason I brought this one up is because there's a huge shift in college hockey right now, where not only are kids allowed to get paid, but kids in Canada are now allowed to come down and play college hockey. They never used to be that way, because the NCAA deemed them as professionals. The way the CHL works. The CHL, so I'm sure you could probably figure it out, but it stands for the Canadian Hockey League.
Yeah. I mean, NHL national.
Correct. Yeah. And so the CHL, it's junior hockey. What is junior hockey? It's basically a step between high school and college if you're in the USA. If you can play junior hockey in high school, but in Canada, junior hockey is it's like a religion.
It's like Canadians' national sport.
Right. It's big time up there.
It's like curling. It might be curling.
I know they are very good at curling. Ice. They like ice.
Yeah, they love ice sports. We just know that.
And so these kids, they'll play. You essentially grow up and you play on whatever hometown teams you grow up in. And then I can't remember the exact age, but it might be at 16 years old. You're eligible to get drafted to these CHL leagues. And there's 3 different leagues that comprise the CHL. There's the Western Hockey League, which is Western Canada. There's the Ontario Hockey League, and then there's the Quebec Maritimes Junior Hockey League. Basically, it's just they split it into thirds.
Like East and West.
Yeah, pretty much that thing. And so hockey's a religion in Canada. It's big time. It's what most of these kids dream about doing forever and ever and ever. It's all they care about. And they didn't even know NCAA hockey was an option to them, because for most of them, it's not an option. They grow up and they want to play for their hometown teams, and the NCAA, it's universities, and there's I don't know if you want to call it strict, but there's schooling requirements. And a lot of these CHL kids don't meet those requirements because it's just different educational systems.
Go to classes still.
Right, yes. And so when you're in the CHL, if you're lucky to get drafted to a team nearby, that's great. But most of the time, you're living with a billet family.
It's a billet family.
It's essentially a household that says I'm sure there's sign-ups and you have to be credentialed and all this stuff, but you take in these kids that get drafted because they're 16, 17 years old. They have no idea how they're not adults.
Yeah.
So, and these billet families, they house and feed and take these kids to their hockey games and whatnot.
Kind of almost like an exchange family.
Yeah, that's a pretty apt comparison.
Except it's for just hockey.
Yeah, strictly hockey. And these kids are going to school. They're getting an education. They're not just all right, I'm good at hockey, that's all I'm going to do. But so it was never an option to go to the NCAA. Now it is, because there's a lawsuit, and now the NCAA says, no, these guys are not actually professionals so long as they meet certain academic requirements and they're old enough, they can come down and play college hockey. If you ask Canadians in these rabid CHL fan bases, they would tell you, why would they go play college hockey? It's, because pretty much all the star Canadians in the NHL play junior hockey in Canada, and they go straight from the CHL to the NHL.
I was gonna wonder if it was kind of a transition almost, or is it kind of taboo to go from essentially the Canadian League to what you'd say is the American League.
Right. And that's the thing is, a lot of Canadian fans think that's not gonna, these kids would never do that, because look at the star Connor McDavid or Sidney Crosby. These are star hockey players that played Canadian juniors, and it's that's how you, if you're good enough to play hockey for a living, that's how you do it if you're in Canada. What's happening now, and this is over the last handful of years, these really, really highly ranked kids, in their draft year, or sometimes even the year before they're drafted, are starting to come play college hockey. And it has a lot to do with like NIL, which is name, image, and likeness. Basically, you're able to get paid for having a big name and being good at sports. And a really important aspect of this all is in the NCAA, there's like 60 some odd teams in college hockey. These teams recruit. Like the coaches have to leave their city for the most part and go find these kids that fit their system, that fit their university, and they have to go and convince these kids like, hey, you need to come play here.
I know a little bit about that because where we live and stuff.
Right. But, and so, which is completely different from Canadian juniors, where as soon as you're old enough, your name is thrown into a draft and you can get drafted.
So, question, is the draft kind of like a NFL draft?
Pretty much.
Almost.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know how many rounds off the top of my head there is, but it's like any other sports draft.
And these kids are like 16 sometimes.
Right. I mean, they're right. And so that's important because when you in NCAA, when you're recruiting, you're not just recruiting a kid to come play for you. You're recruiting a kid to say, hey, we're going to develop you as a person and as a player. So that way, when you go pro, if you're good enough, you're ready. And you're also recruiting them so that they don't go somewhere else. You know, you
kind of like what is it like? Almost how like committing like a college.
Absolutely.
Here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You recruit the kids so that way they commit to your school and they come play for you. What that has created is almost like a college hockey arms race, where these schools that care about hockey are sinking a whole bunch of money into the program to get the best weight rooms, to get the best practice facilities, the best arenas, the best everything. And so what some of these CHL kids from Canada are coming down to the US on like recruiting visits because they're able to now, and they're going to all these really cool buildings and seeing these weight rooms, and it's just like blowing everything out of the water that Canada has for their junior teams. So these kids start to realize, like, I can go get developed way better if I go the college hockey route. And it's like a slow trickle effect at this point, but all it takes is one or two guys. And you have to think about, so we were talking about the billet families earlier. Yeah. You have, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids that are going to live with a family that maybe they get along, maybe they don't. Like, it's kind of a weird living situation.
It's like you're 16, you're going to live with some random people.
Right.
Like, I mean, me at 16, I'd be terrified. Just like, I was terrified of like talking to people, like just going to live with a whole like different family.
And so now, like, these kids are having their eyes open to what NCAA hockey really is, which is, and we went to college, we know how fun campus life can be. You get to experience campus life, you get to live with your friends, you're living with your teammates.
Live with people your age.
Your age, and you're on the same team, you're with your friends all the time. You're getting paid to come here in some cases, so next year's number one overall pick projected, his name is Gavin McKenna, and I can't remember what part of Canada he's from, but I mean, he's unreal. He's really, really good. And basically there's all these schools that are just throwing oodles and oodles amounts of money at him. Like, hey, come play here. So he eventually, this has happened last week, he committed to Penn State to play hockey. And Penn State, I want to say 10, 12-ish years ago, maybe more, they were just a club hockey team. But then the Big Ten, their conference.
Wait, okay. Sorry, I shook my head, but what does club hockey mean?
Club hockey, it's another term. It's essentially, so like UND has club hockey. It's essentially
University of North Dakota.
Correct. It's not intramural. It's like chess club or tech club.
Oh, okay. So it's like having like almost like a dance team, but then you also have a dance club.
Mm-hmm. And so it's essentially like, so in the northern part, like in the Midwest and out east, northeast, Division I hockey, just that's it. That's the best level of collegiate hockey. If you go down like south or out west more, like club hockey is like a really, really big deal. And I mean, for the hockey fans in those communities, it's a really, really big deal. And it's essentially just another avenue for these kids to play hockey after high school. You know, I mean, they're probably...
Sorry, kind of like almost like a beer league, like one step up.
More intense than that. Like there's a club hockey national championship that you can win. It's just these kids that are playing club hockey aren't going to be professional hockey players, you know. So Gavin McKenna, the next year's number 1 overall pick, he committed to Penn State, and it's reported that Penn State is giving him a $500,000 deal in name, image, and likeness to come play for them, which is wild because he's going to play 1 year for them, more than likely 1 year. He's going to rip it up. He's going to be amazing, and then he's gone.
Like probably NHL or like...
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but that goes back to like these Canadian kids are going to see Gavin McKenna on TV in front of a raucous Penn State crowd. They've been on the up and up the last 10, 12 years. They were a club hockey team. Now Penn State offers Division I college hockey. They're in the Big Ten. They have a lot of money. Last year, I think, was probably their best season in program history for Division I. They made the Frozen Four, which is like the end of the year tournament.
Yeah.
For the first time ever. And so all these kids in Canada are going to see what he's doing, and they're going to be more and more interested, and they're going to ask more questions. They're going to look into it more.
So it's kind of like just a dam waiting to break.
Pretty much. And the thought is, because it's college hockey, and you don't have to go to, like, you can be a 21-year-old freshman playing college hockey. Maybe not 20, like 19, 20-year-old freshman playing college hockey. And so you're playing against bigger, stronger guys, which is important if you want to keep developing and make it to the top and play pro hockey. That's another aspect of it. But no, it's really interesting because for the team that we live around, it's big for us because we're right next to Canada, and it can be like a just another recruiting path. And you know, a lot of like Minnesota hockey, for example, that's big for them. Like, we want Minnesotans playing for Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask North Dakota hockey fans, they want to get back into recruiting these Canadian kids. And now that, you know, like 20 years ago, there's Canadians that come and play college hockey. They just don't play in the CHL first. Because as soon as you enter that and play a game for a CHL team, you are automatically ineligible to play college hockey.
Because you're considered professional.
Right. So some kids, if they knew about college hockey, they would bypass that draft. I mean, they would get drafted. They just wouldn't sign with that team, and then they would go and play college hockey. But now it's probably just going to be an avalanche effect. Especially the NHL draft for this season happened almost a month ago, and about a third, maybe 12 of the first round draft picks are college hockey kids, and that number could rise if these other uncommitted Canadians decide to go play college hockey instead of staying in Canada.
So, like, do you think it'd be kind of more like the 1-2 years and then right to NHL?
Right. And so the beautiful thing about it is, you know, again, like, some of these Canadian fan bases aren't happy because they're losing their star players. Like, I get it. It makes sense. But you could play in the CHL for 1 or 2 years and then go to college and then go to the NHL. Like it opens up more avenues for these kids to reach their goal, which is cool. It's probably going to become a situation now where the CHL starts feeding into college hockey. And so it's good. It's amazing for college hockey because now, college hockey has always been on the rise for the last 15 or so years, but now they're just getting even more talented because the player pool is even bigger.
It's kind of like a double-edged sword almost. It's like good for like all this stuff, but like for like people in like the CHL and stuff like that, it's kind of makes that less interesting or
right, because they expect to have these kids for 2 or 3 years, and now they might not even have them at all.
Well, they almost like had a monopoly on them, and the monopoly
right,
and a bigger, because of like a change, a bigger like monopoly came in. And it's like, okay, that's all ours now.
Right. So it's going to be interesting. Some of the higher ranked kids that have committed to colleges, like their teams are like, hell yeah, like you go, man. Like look what you can come play for this junior team for 1 year, and then you can go make your money in college, and then you go to the NHL. And then there's other CHL teams that haven't said a word about essentially their kids getting recruited away, poached from them, so it's interesting. Yeah, I don't know what my narrative is for that one, but I would suppose it's just the fact that like it's a fundamental change to the development of these kids, which is fascinating in my eyes.
It's kind of, I don't know how I feel about like college athletes like getting paid, but also if you're getting like star players to like come like to just have like cooler games and stuff, or like more intense games, I think it's like almost kind of worth it, because then you get these kids that are probably going to be professional, like they're going to earn a lot of money, so you kind of give them like a little like small dose of that as well.
And I think I had mentioned it earlier, but and colleges, it used to be, like it's about the colors you wear, it's about the name on the front of the jersey. As a fan, it's really cool to look at these star players in the NHL and be like, that guy played here, he's one of ours, and so that is maybe getting taken away for Canadians, but it just adds more to college. Right. So I don't know. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I don't really have an answer for that. Because it really depends on who you're a fan of, who you cheer for. For my team, it's great. It's awesome. For some of the teams on the lower end of the totem pole in college hockey, maybe it's not good.
Teams that like can't afford to pay these kids.
Right. Or maybe it's got even more of a trickle-down effect where it's like, okay, these big-time college schools, college hockey programs are going to pay for all the good kids, but maybe all these other really talented players that take a little bit longer to develop, maybe they get pushed down to these other schools that don't pay a whole lot of money to their kids. It's just, it redistributes the talent, And is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. I think if you're a smart and savvy program, you're a smart and savvy coaching staff, you're going to find a way to win with the decision regardless. Like last year's college hockey national champions, Western Michigan, their first title in program history. It's all like older, under-recruited kids that really nobody else wanted. Which
like the kind of like leftovers,
pretty much. And like that is kind of disrespectful to Western Michigan because they do have a very legit program. They are a very serious contender year in and year out, but they definitely recruit differently than maybe like the Big Ten schools would, because the Big Ten has all the money to get all the uber talented first round draft picks.
So that's kind of like the negative of it. It's just like some of these teams just can't compete with that.
Right. And hopefully I'm wrong in that sense, because college hockey is growing. There's about like 3 or 4 new Division I teams over the last couple of years that have joined. A couple have been like surprisingly successful. Others are having a rough jump start to their program, but with the influx of these Canadians, like maybe that's the way to do it for them, is like, okay, not all the Canadians are going to come play college hockey, but what if we can convince the ones that, again, are under recruited?
So like, would you say it's like the top like 50% are more inclined to like go to these colleges over the CHL, or is it kind of like like individually, like
it's an individual basis, but it's a lot of like it's a knowledge thing. It's like I said, once more and more kids do it and report back to their buddies about how good of a time they had, how much it impacted their development, that's only going to make more and more kids interested in making the transition. Go ahead.
So maybe we'll have to come back to this topic in like a year and see like if this like if you were like almost like whatever happened.
Right. And I think that's probably a fair way to do it, because we're not going to know.
Yeah.
Up until that moment. So
is this kind of like similar to like when college athletes weren't allowed to like get paid finally?
Right.
It's like kind of like, it's kind of like the same, like what's going to happen now.
Mm-hmm.
Like the same arguments of like all these like schools can't afford these kids.
Right.
But some can. And
it's, there's a lot of people that definitely think, the rich are just going to get richer, and, maybe that does happen, but I think sports proves year in and year out, the big bad, top of the line programs don't always win, but maybe for a decision like this, they're more inclined to be successful.
That's very
So I feel like I spent a lot of time talking about my 2 topics,
you only got 2. I mean, trying to find a cool transition for that one. Well, you ever heard of Subnautica?
I've definitely heard the term.
It's a very good game. It's created, it's like an indie developed game.
Mm-hmm.
There's some big news that happened with it. So you could say that some of these developers that are creating Subnautica 2 got kicked out by these. I can't do it. I can't do the transition. So, okay, Subnautica 2. This game is like, I think it's the number 2 game wishlisted on Steam.
Okay.
Which wishlisted basically means like, or no, greenlit. No, not greenlit. Okay, basically, there's this thing for indie games on Steam that you can wishlist the game, and when it comes out, you'll get notified and like buy it.
Okay.
And it's number 2 on Steam. And I think the one is like the Hollow Knight sequel, but this game is very, very highly anticipated. Like, people want to play it, and it's the cool thing was they've just put out like I think a month or 2 ago like a trailer being like, we're gonna release the game in early access and have you guys test it with us to add features in it. It's gonna be so cool. So like the community is like almost building the game with the developers. And so it was slated to come out, I think, sometime this year. I think within the next like few months. And what just happened was the publisher Krafton fired like 2 of the original creators of the original Subnautica and moved the game to 2026. Now, you'd ask, why would they do that?
Right.
Well, there's like a theory going around is if the developers of Subnautica and Subnautica 2 hit a certain like revenue, like or like a certain like profit by the end of 2025, they were gonna get a $250 million bonus. That's like 6, almost 7-figure like bonuses for every employee at the developer.
Okay.
And then the publisher, this is going to be the publisher that gave the developer the bonus.
Uh-huh.
But then they kicked they fired the two of the original creators of Subnautica out, and they moved the game saying you're not releasing it till next year.
Because of the bonuses?
Allegedly.
So
because of the bonuses.
So okay, so I think I understand what you're saying. It could come out this year, but it got magically pushed back, and the theory is because these bonuses.
If they release, because the plan was original release in a few months, it's a second wishlisted game on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have made money, like right out the gate. Not even like a full game. It would have made money. And so the theory is that like the publisher didn't want to give all these like developers the bonus and give out that $250 million. So they said, screw it. We're gonna like kick these two guys off who are probably the most powerful and like push it to 2026.
Uh-huh.
You guys can't hit it.
They're just trying to derail.
Yes, that's all. That's a theory. Obviously, this is all allegedly, but that's the theory.
And so, did they give a separate, more corporate reason as to why these guys were fired?
They didn't. I don't think they said anything about the two guys that were fired, but they gave like a very like PR, like we want the game to be absolutely perfect for players, and that's why we're delaying it. Which is like it's very corporate speak.
Right.
Very like you know, like pandering to like everybody to try to like. But I mean, everybody sees through it. Like I tell you about this right now, you can see right through it.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like it really sucks because a lot of people are like really, really excited for this game, and like what made the first game so special was like how small a team it was that could make this amazing game. Like, I remember like when it came out like 20 like the 20 teens or whatever, and I would watch videos on it all the time, and I beat it now. Like I still go back and play it. It's such a fun game, and like this was supposed to be like just the game, but more expansive and better. But
so, and maybe I just forgot when you said it. What is the plot of the game? Like,
oh yeah, I should explain the plot. So it's like you're on the first game. You're on an alien, or you're on a spaceship, and you crash land into this planet that's completely ocean.
Okay.
And you basically like it's like a futuristic technology, and you have to like kind of survive on this alien ocean world, and like there's these giant creatures called leviathans that like attack you and stuff, and you have to. It's basically like Minecraft but ocean, but not blocky.
Right. And so, is there like an end goal, or is it just more like an open world and
there's a story to it, but like you can also just bypass
kind of
it.
do whatever.
Yeah, but there's a story to it. So
okay.
It's a very fun game. And I was really anticipating the second one, and now I'm like kind of like.
So does Subnautica 2 take place on the same planet?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
But yeah, it's supposed to be like a whole different like planet, like a whole different thing. It's supposed to be the first game's not multiplayer. This one's supposed to be multiplayer. I was really excited for that, and it just kind of sucks that like corporate greed kind of just can derail a project like this.
It hurts the consumer in the end.
Yeah, well, and also, do you know like of entertainment, like gaming has like the biggest market share of any other like medium.
That is kind of surprising to think about. I know
Yeah.
video games have gotten far more popular over the years, but
It's like it's insane how like because you include mobile games in that too. You include,
I suppose.
yeah, and like I mean everybody plays a game on their phone,
Right.
Like, everybody does. So it's like there's so much just like financial and corporate like stuff just mixed into all this stuff. That's why you see so many stories, and I bet you there's gonna be at least every week a story about like something financial in the gaming like scape, because it's two of my stories are kind of about that.
Right.
But yeah, it's like it just sucks to see like all this happen when like it's like the game's supposed to be fun and like you want to play games for fun. You like everybody wanted this game to come out, and just like it can just derail it.
So you said the original idea was to not necessarily release the full game, but allow its player base to mess around with it and add or take things away.
Yeah, like it was essentially like, hey, buy the game, you play it, and you're like, oh, it'd be really cool if this was in the game. And the developers would like, oh, let's try that, and if it's cool, it gets added. If it's not, like whatever.
I just lost my train of thought. Have other games done this, or is this a very unique way of going about it?
I would say yeah, it's mainly indie games that do it.
Okay, and what is an indie game as opposed to a non-indie game?
So an indie game is just like a small development team. Usually doesn't have a publisher. So like there's, I'm gonna get back to this topic. So there's Bethesda. Bethesda creates like Elder Scrolls and Fallout. That's Bethesda Game Studios that creates that. But then there's Bethesda, the publisher. Now they're owned by Microsoft and Xbox, but there's under the Bethesda publisher, there's Bethesda Game Studios and ZeniMax, Arcane. It was Tango got destroyed. But like there's like all these different game studios that are hundreds of people that are under this publisher, and the publisher has the money to market and give money to the developers to make the game.
Okay.
But an indie game is usually there's no investor in it or very little investment in it. It's like the people that are just working on it. That's them and their money. Like, you know, No Man's Sky.
I've heard of it.
That game, a huge game. It had like a really bad launch, but now it's like amazing. That game was developed by like an indie studio. It was like 3 or 4 guys that like, and the owner of like the studio that developed it like put a second mortgage on his house just to fund the game.
That's wild.
Yeah, I know, but like it's like stuff like that. It's like it's more. I wouldn't say it's more passion, but it's not. It's like almost more of a passion project, but it's still like for profit and stuff.
Right.
But usually they have like, I would say, a lot more like love and care in the games, but they're also very much smaller in scale. Like they're not going to be Assassin's Creed, like Odyssey or Valhalla. They're not going to be like that size. I mean, No Man's Sky is huge, but like it's also generated. But like it's still like some games are like medium-sized games, stuff like that.
Right.
Like the second most wishlisted game on Steam, Hollow Knight. I'm pretty sure that's also an indie game.
Okay. Have these indie games gotten more popular over the years?
Insanely popular. No, I would say, like what was an indie game that just came out that was really popular? I don't know.
Fair.
But no, like my favorite game right now, RimWorld, was an indie game, and usually like they have indie games kind of have like more of a process, like I just described to you with Subnautica 2, of like, hey, here's the game. We're gonna keep Minecraft. Perfect example. Minecraft started as an indie game.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like they kind of add updates and stuff like that. You know Minecraft, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Many hours.
But like Notch, he developed that himself initially, and then got a team, and it was still an indie game. Until he started like a big studio, And now Minecraft, you would not consider Minecraft an indie game now.
No, not at all.
But like in the original state, it was an indie game.
So with the game being released, the players are like, oh, what if we added this? And then is that kind of like how, because like modding Minecraft used to be a huge deal. I'm sure it still is.
Oh yeah.
But like pretty much all like the things in the game that weren't originally there, I feel like at some point were just mods that people were like, what if Minecraft had this?
Yeah, no, and like, I mean, obviously, like the developer will add their own things they want to add, but like maybe just haven't got around the time to do that yet, or had the money to do that yet. But then there's like some suggestions, like people wanted like fishing in Minecraft or whatever, and then fishing came, let's say, and like because there's water, and like there's stuff like that. So like it's a combination of like, and it's people create mods, and those mods get put in the base game. So it's like. It's like a community effort almost to create the game. There's the developer creating the game. There's also the people playing the game, supporting the game.
Right. Which is probably why the fan bases are so passionate about it.
Exactly, and that's why this is such a sad story. Is that like there's so many people that were super. I mean, I wouldn't say Subnautica 2 would be like classified as an indie game because it had like a bigger studio and a publisher, but like the original was, and it was so like well liked and loved that people were really looking forward to this, and now it's like,
I only gotta wait.
Yeah, exactly. So,
very, very unfortunate. I suppose you can just bleed right into your last one since they're pretty simple.
A little bit more unfortunate is Xbox. So this one, it's gonna suck. But there's also, for me at least, a silver lining at the end. So you know, Xbox has kind of been like losing the console wars. Like they wanted to say like the Xbox or the PS4 and the Xbox One. That's kind of like the generation to win. And Phil Spencer, the CEO of Xbox, has been quoted as saying like they lost the most important generation, which was like that generation, because that's when people started building their like online library, because you don't buy physical games anymore,
right?
And like you buy a PlayStation because the PlayStation 4 was better than the Xbox One, 100%. I had both, and I 100% PlayStation, and like. Yeah, I like a lot of Xbox games more than I like exclusives, and I like PlayStation exclusives. But like, I already have my library on my PlayStation 4, so I'm not gonna have to buy a whole new console with all these new games. But I can just like buy a new console as a PlayStation and transfer it over.
Right.
And Xbox has kind of been like almost like a death spiral lately, and recently, Microsoft as a whole, who owns Xbox, laid off 4% of their company, which is 9,000 people, and a lot of those people were in Xbox.
I was gonna say that seems like a pretty significant number.
Yeah, it's insane, and they just because of that they just recently like closed a bunch of studios and canceled like a decent amount of games.
Is it because they're on the downswing? And
I would say so. I don't because. The savior was supposed to be them buying ZeniMax, which ZeniMax and Activision, because Activision Blizzard has like World of Warcraft and Call of Duty. Like Call of Duty is just a money printer,
right?
And that was supposed to be the saving grace, and then ZeniMax has Elder Scrolls and Fallout and Doom. Like Doom is huge and stuff like that too. And so that was supposed to be the saving grace, but they just haven't like the numbers just haven't reached what the shareholders like expect them to do or what they projected to. And so now they're kind of like in a death spiral, and it's really unfortunate like all these people just like lost their jobs and stuff because of like stupid decisions that Xbox has been making.
Right, and it's not even like it's stupid decisions that were made like a decade ago.
Exactly. No, yeah, and like I would say they're still kind of making like dumb decisions too, but like, they've made some cool decisions too. But like they just like every decision like has had just like They were supposed to turn like 90 degrees left, and they turned 45 degrees left.
Yeah.
It's like you didn't go all the way with it. But this is gonna be a quicker topic. What is news in Xbox though is because of all these games getting canceled, there was a leak about Fallout games coming, and not just Fallout 5, but like multiple Fallout games. You didn't see the TV show, did you?
I did not.
No, the TV show was a massive hit, and they had nothing to capitalize on the TV show with. Like, when Fallout came out, like when Last of Us came out, they had Last of Us Remastered ready to go.
Okay.
But Fallout, they didn't have like an update for Fallout 4 for the TV show. They had nothing. And so season 2 is in December this year, and there was just leaked that there's a bunch of Fallout games that are being made right now, and one of them is probably going to be Fallout 3 Remastered, which I'm so excited for. But Microsoft owns Xbox. Xbox owns ZeniMax. ZeniMax owns Bethesda.
Okay.
And they have not done anything besides, like, with the big titles like Fallout, Elder Scrolls, and Doom, and Wolfenstein, Dishonored. Like, these are all huge titles. I mean, I don't know if you've heard of all of them, but you've heard of at least Fallout.
Yeah,
Elder Scrolls.
I'm familiar with most of those.
Yeah. And, like, the crazy thing is Elder Scrolls 6 it's nowhere in sight. Like, I will truly believe that I will be married before Elder Scrolls 6 comes out. Like, maybe even have a kid. Like, that's how long I think it's gonna be.
Right.
And I'm not planning on having a kid for a very long time. So, but, and that's crazy because, like, you have this Skyrim is one of the it's like the 7th biggest selling game of all time.
Well, you've owned that game on like every console you've had.
Yeah, I bought it a lot. More than I care to admit. But it's crazy, like, you just don't have, like Elder Scrolls Online is pretty big, but, like, where is, like, if you're not going to give us Elder Scrolls 6, where is, like, a spin-off title?
Yeah.
Where's, like, and Fallout's huge, too, especially with, like, the TV show. Where, like Fallout 76 is a good game, but, like, people want more. That's like a 6-7-year-old game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so crazy to me. Like, think you have these two insanely massive IPs, that intellectual properties for those who don't know, and you just don't do anything with them. Like, they would be like printing money, like Call of Duty prints money.
It's weird because with like sports video games, they come out every year because it's a new season every year, but there's like hardly ever like anything new. Like 2K26 just got not released, but like the cover athlete, they revealed all that stuff, and it's like, oh, we added more sweat beads on this guy, you know, or like there's
realistic.
Like we added like 1 or 2 different animations, or, you know, we redid like the online part you play the games in, but we didn't really add anything. You know, I feel like it's with like the Fallout stuff, it's one of those things where, you know, maybe you could release it every year like a Call of Duty and make a whole bunch of money, but I almost feel like the quality of the game suffers when you do that.
Like, and that's the thing is, they're not even releasing it like every 3 years. It's like the last Fallout game we had, like, I'm not going to count Fallout 76, was 10 years ago. The last Elder Scrolls game we had that wasn't like Elder Scrolls Online was, what is that, 14 years ago. Like, I was in middle school and high school when those games, we were in middle school and high school when those games came out. It's like, it's crazy that, like, I will be like probably 30 when Fallout, or in my 30s when Fallout 5 comes out, and I was 15 when Fallout 4 came out.
Right. And so obviously that's just like way too long in between video games.
Exactly. It's not like it'd be fine if it was like every 3 years, even like a new thing come out, even if it's not a mainline title, if it's like a spin-off, like, but like, no, there's just like nothing they do with any of the IP.
Is it a thing where like like you said, like 10 plus years that's just too long, like it just is. But like, Rockstar's had some pretty huge games, and the gap between even like Red Dead 1 and Red Dead 2, like is there like from the fan base, is there like a you give them some grace because Rockstar puts together quality games even if it takes a few years?
See, here's the thing though too, is Bethesda made Starfield, and I played Starfield 24 hours. I have 24 hours. Those 24 hours were in the first week, and then I never touched the game again. Because I wanted to love that game so much. Like, I was raving about it for weeks. I was one of the most excited people for it.
You hyped it up a lot.
No, and I just kept playing it. I was like, it's gonna get good eventually. It's gonna get good eventually. 24 hours, and then I was like, I can't play it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, and that was like their game that was supposed to be, instead of the next Elder Scrolls, it was supposed to be Starfield, and then we get to Elder Scrolls, and that game came out 2 years ago. So it's like yeah, you had a miss or whatever, but like Fallout 76, that was a huge miss too. Like, that game was not good at launch at all. So you had 2 misses, and then now you're costing us like so many years down the road for Fallout 5 and Elder Scrolls 6 because of these crappy games that you made. Like, I just don't get it. And then Microsoft and Xbox buys Bethesda, like ZeniMax. They bought ZeniMax. They bought it, I bet you, for Doom, Elder Scrolls, and Fallout. They made the TV show. 10 out of 10. Like, they haven't done anything else though with either franchise. Doom came out with the Dark Ages, that, and like Doom Eternal. Those two really good. But like everything else, like, you have these gigantic, just like $1 million IPs that you just do nothing with.
I wonder how, and I have no clue, but maybe it's like they've done the math and it costs them so much money, just like, and wages and resources to make these games, to where like they don't, like, this is on purpose. It's not even like it's not like incompetence. It's probably a little bit of incompetence for sure, but like, it's like, we're not gonna go full force here because it costs a lot to do it.
Yeah. See, I could understand that, but like, you have, like, they're money makers, and hype can only be built so much.
Right.
It's like, yeah, if you're gonna wait, if like you told me that Elder Scrolls 6 will come out 10 years after Elder Scrolls 5, hype would be insane. But it's gonna be 15 years before this game comes out.
And it's like, you come out, if you're the developer, you're the overhead company, and you're like, okay, this game is going to come out, one of these 2-3 months in this year. And then from that moment on, you get to start the hype train building up to the release date. And then it's like, oh, actually, this is getting moved back, 6 months, 12 months. Now you have to restart the hype train somehow. And it's like, well, I spent the last year getting hyped up for it. Like, why?
I mean, I think GTA 6 will still be an insane game.
And I think that's just because GTA 5 was so successful.
Yeah. But like, I bet you they lost. Like, I bet you some people aren't going to buy the game because they were so anticipated for it. And then it just got delayed, and now people aren't going to buy it. Like, I still think it's going to insane,
right?
Like, it's gonna do numbers. It's probably gonna be like the fastest selling game of all time.
Like, I'm excited to play it, but like, I'm not like dying to play it.
Exactly. And if it would have came out this year when it was supposed to, I bet you people would have been like
right,
crazy. But yeah,
right on, dude.
Yeah. So I mean, we're at an hour and a half, or a little over. So
a little over an hour and a half. I'm not gonna lie, it felt a lot longer than that.
Wait, really?
I'm sitting here talking about my topics. I'm like, I need to shut up so that way we can get this thing going. But
no, you did great. No, that was great. I mean, you the first topic was that was good.
Yeah,
I think that was a great first episode.
It's not bad for our first crack at it, I wouldn't say. Do you have any other final thoughts? Anything you'd like to add?
No, I think we just want to say thank you for listening to the first episode of Balls and Blasters.
Balls and Blasters. Remember it. Alliteration is on purpose. Makes it easier to remember. We have a logo. I like the logo. We might make changes to the logo.
Yes, I want our colors to be. I do want our colors to be purple and orange, but it's good. It's good. It's a good start.
It's a good start, and we do have social media.
Mm-hmm.
We have YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Is that where we're at right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha.
I don't think anything's gonna be posted besides YouTube. We're probably gonna do Spotify too. If I can figure out Spotify, we're gonna do Spotify.
It would probably be best to get it on as many platforms as we can. Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening to the first episode of Balls and Blasters.
Thank you very much.